Wonderful memories there. Let's get some more now from Bob Wellings, who was a reporter here 50 years ago. Bob, it's lovely to have you here this evening.
Very, very honoured to be so. Thank you.
Now, Bob, you started in 1959. You were there for a decade to 1969. Your first television job, it must have changed a lot since then. You must have some amazing memories.
Well, my abiding memory, Becca, which has never happened to you, is that after my third week doing About Anglia, I was told that the senior producer, director, rather a bear of a man who frightened me anyway, wanted to see me. So I went up to his office and went into his office, and he said, "Don't sit down, this won't take long." And he said, "Bob, look, with most people who are new to television, our problem is to make them look relaxed. With you, we don't have this problem. You just look ruddy as sleep." And Becky, he didn't say ruddy, but I'll save your blushes.
You're certainly not asleep this evening, Bob. Just how different was it from then to now?
Well, Jonathan, the thing is that then and now there was a core of professionalism and fun and ideas people. But of course, being new, it was much rougher at the edges. And people like me didn't know what on earth they were doing, frankly. You sort of made it up as you went along. I mean, now what I'm bowled over by is, apart from you two wonderful people and all that, is the slickness and professionalism of it all, and the satellite trucks and all that is just so much slicker than in our time.
Oh, that's good. Bob, it's been so lovely to have you with us this evening. If we could ask you just to do one more thing. If you could look at that camera there and introduce the next package. That'd be
right,
great.
Thank you very much. They gave me one line to learn. I'm not sure I've learned it. We've seen the news from 50 years ago, but what about the weather?
And that's all from me. The weekend weather now with Michael Hunt.
Good evening to you. A few days ago I was receiving from viewers spring flowers, strawberries, or strawberry rather, admittedly not ripe, raspberries ripe, all had been picked outside in gardens within our region.
Michael Hunt was an Anglia icon for more than 2 decades. He set up Anglia Weather, the first ITV station to have its own weather department.
He was an eccentric, great wine lover, very precise, and frequently fought a war with the control room, as his 2 minutes and 45 seconds for the weather was absolutely mandatory, and he would never take any reduction.
This facsimile broadcast receiver is the main source of the material we use in the preparation of the Anglia forecasts. It covers a whole range of material right from the upper atmosphere down to the surface. But wide although this range is, it isn't sufficiently detailed for regional purposes. Every pin on this chart represents a voluntary weather correspondent who helps to fill in the gaps in the reporting network.
And one of the pins on the chart was, and still is, our weather correspondent in Ely, Gerald Rolfe. And Gerald's with me now. So a lot's changed since you first began.
Yeah, we started right back in the early 1970s, 40 odd years ago now. The biggest difference from then to now, of course, is the screen presentation. It's progressed from the charts with string on them up to the present day, everything computerised.
There must be some key weather moments that stick in your mind. I
started in the weather game sort of in the mid-50s, and the 1963 winter was very cold for about 3 months or so, and I suppose it confirmed my interest, really. The other big thing, of course, in the opposite way round, was the 1975 and 1976 summers, which were so hot that most of us alive then didn't really think this sort of thing was, was credible.
Like the forecast, not everything went to plan. Weather, a regular part of outtake shows.
And the winds along the east coast become somewhat lighter. Let's have a look at the local chart. It's good here, isn't it?
It was terrific. I mean, we went from paper charts and pens to computer technology, which we imported from America. We were the first regional company to use it.
It's an infrared picture, particularly
over the years, the faces of weather come and go, but the forecast remains the same. Anglia Weather continuing to feed the British obsession with what the elements have to throw at us.
What a talent.
That's
Lovely.
so unfair. That was my audition tape.
Well, Amanda's here to show us exactly what it was like 50 years ago. It's amazing to think that this is how it started.
I know, well, we had these made especially for today. Now, this is how it's looking tomorrow lunchtime. As you can see, the cold front moves through, so perhaps some light and patchy rain tomorrow. Now, if you could just help me with this chart, Becky. This is a closer look at the region. So starts off cloudy with some light rain tomorrow morning, but it is going to become brighter later. And most importantly, it's actually getting warmer tomorrow, in fact, and I've been dying to do this. Temperatures could get up to 18 degrees.
Wonderful.
It almost went.
That's what we want to hear.
Hasn't fell down.
Thanks very much, Amanda. Of course, some obvious drawbacks. How many of these could you have drawn up?
So in other words, we decided to play one earlier.
You can't control the weather, but you can control your money. N&P. Be on top of money.
Now, back to the computer chart, and as I mentioned earlier, it will be a bit of a grey start tomorrow. However, it should hopefully brighten up as we go through the day. Now, 50 years ago, we had some very gusty conditions across our region, whereas tomorrow we are expecting much lighter winds, and it will be unseasonably warm for the time of year. So this is the pressure chart for the next few days. You can see we've got high pressure just sitting to the southeast, and there's also low pressure, which is sitting out in the Atlantic. Now, look at the isobars. You can see they are quite tightly packed together, but you can see they're coming up from the south there, and that's what's feeding in this warm air over the next few days. Now, it will be dry and clear as we go through the first part of the evening, but overnight we are expecting some cloud and some light and patchy rain to move in. And it's very mild out there as well. Temperatures really just falling down to 10 degrees. So that means it's a bit of a grey and murky start to the day tomorrow. Perhaps a little bit of rain still clinging on to coastal parts, but this should fizzle out by the afternoon. So hopefully we'll get to see some bright or sunny spells throughout the day. It's very warm out there. Temperatures up to around 17 or 18 degrees. That's 64 in Fahrenheit. Now, there will be a little bit more cloud around on Thursday. We can't rule out the chance of the odd bit of drizzle at times, but hopefully most of us will stay dry. And it's dry and bright on Friday. However, things aren't looking too promising by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. Lots of cloud around, some rain on Saturday, some heavy rain on Sunday, but temperatures still staying on the mild side for the time of year.
N&P. Be on top of money.
Well, that just about brings us to the end of our 50th anniversary programme.
Yeah, we've got a very special cake here and some bubbly, and hopefully, I mean, we're in Norwich, they're celebrating in our news regions around the region as well. So here they are in Ipswich.
And let's take a look in Northampton as well. Raise a glass to us, guys. Fantastic stuff.
Now we've got
Well done.
we've got a very special cake here. Bob, can we ask you to cut the cake?
Come and do the honours, Bob, please.
It does look very lovely.
Yeah, and while Bob is doing that, which just leaves us to say that raise a glass then, guys, to the 50th anniversary of Anglia Television.
Yeah, we'll leave you with some images from the last 50 years. See you later. Cheers.
Cheers. Anglia Television. Cheers.